Not that time. No.
Why is it you? Every time. Anyways, hello everyone. Welcome to session 2 of Chromatic Crusaders, the all Dragonborn, all evil, all Tiamat worshipping campaign of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm your host and game master ELH, and joining me are some lovely individuals. I don't have any announcements this week other than the fact that we did have a player substitution. We're not going to make a big deal out of it, but we do have a new player with us. But that's enough for me. If I could have everyone go around, introduce themselves, introduce their characters, and give any shout-outs that they want to do before we get started, starting with Mr. Darewolf.
Hello, everyone. My name is Darewolf, Darewolf Gaming 88 on Twitter and Twitch. I am playing Ufel Tazrash. And I just want to give a shout out to the Motley Heights game on Monday nights are we doing 10 p.m. right now, ELH?
Yeah, 10 p.m.
10 p.m. Eastern. A lot of fun. We're on season 2. Craziness, but super excited to be a Dragonborn and spread the word of our unholy goddess. So let's go.
All right. I believe Mr. Percy, you're up next.
Hi, Percy Davis. I'm here to do evil, worship Tiamat. Probably get into a bit of mischief that I can. Shout out to the Glitch Buddies. Hi Kai, hi Chase. Love you guys. And Otar. I love Otar. Otar's great. I love them. I don't have anything else. That's all I got.
All right.
Next.
And our new player, if you would care to introduce yourself.
What's up, everyone? I'm Asylum, at Asylum Student on Twitter. The character I am playing is Kaviri Naxrix, and I'm super excited to join the game. Shout out to everyone. I hope everyone's having a good day.
There you go. I love it. Up next, I believe we have Mr. Umbral.
Hello. I have not slept. I am sleep deprived. Welcome to the 20th century. No, wait.
21st.
I'm in the wrong century. Well, that's how today is going for me.
What year is it?
What year is it? I don't know my own decade. I don't know my century. I don't know anything. I'll just
That was a good way to start the game.
I'll just stab things.
All right, and certainly last but not least, we have Mr. Strom.
Hey, Strom12341 on Twitter. I will be playing the Black Dragonborn Kapak, Tiamat's Mercy. Shout out to a D&D podcast that I'm actually going to be releasing as soon as I can finish editing the episode, so hopefully in a few weeks.
Cool. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And again, if you don't know me by now, I'm ELH the Game Master. And let me get the music going here, and we will get started proper. All right. So, where we last left off with our little group of adventurers, you all had just rescued a yellow dragonborn, Osira, from the Seraph Grove prison. And the way you went about it was a little bit novel. Instead of fighting guards or blackmailing anybody, well, there was a little bit of blackmail, I suppose, but case in point, you didn't do what many evil parties would tend to do. You decided to use the law to your advantage. So you quite literally lawyered the individual in question out of jail and were able to bring them back to the Shrine of Tiamat. So that is where we are going to start, is maybe about the next day after you've all had a long rest, is that you're all sort of gathering in the main area of the shrine. And you're noticing two things. The first is that your previous white dragonborn companion is no longer among your number. And the second is that there is a new white dragonborn that is coming in from the side, one of the fallen sides of the shrine. So, Kaviri, if you would introduce your character, give us a very brief physical description, and anything we should know about your character in general.
So, Kaviri is relatively tall for, I guess, for a female dragonborn. She's probably closer to 6'5", 6'6". Mm-hmm. She's got white skin with like light blue, almost like ice blue markings. She wears a robe that's that same ice blue color, and she has like this very cold, calculated demeanor, but she's very graceful when she moves. It kind of underlies exactly her mentality. So that's more or less her appearance.
Now this one is a priest. That other one, we should have listened to him. Definitely not a priest.
No, not a priest.
Turn
I
down
could have
the
told you
music.
he wasn't a priest.
I'm pretty sure that's a priestess.
Right, priestess. I just,
Gender's a social construct. Don't worry about it.
you know what? I have heard tell of that. It's one of the things those good dragon worshippers do. They're all about, gender roles and whatnot.
Yeah.
We here on the evil side, we believe that everyone can make their own choice. And we have cookies.
And I think Alpha, your little kobold companion, assistant, goes, "Oh boy, do we have cookies somewhere? I totally would love a cookie."
I would like to pull a cookie from my pocket and feed it to the tiny creature. Because he seems friendly enough.
What
Here you
flavor?
are. The flavor of evil. Dark
So
chocolate.
oatmeal raisin?
Yes,
Yeah.
oatmeal raisin.
No, I'm on
no.
ELH's. I'm on ELH's side. Oatmeal
Okay,
raisin.
it's oatmeal
is
raisin.
evil.
That's fair. Here you are, little one.
Oh boy, oatmeal raisin, my favorite. We don't get these at the parties that we used to. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now. Starts
You
eating. this
truly
cookie.
are. You truly are a beacon of evil. And I pat him on the head.
Not to throw off the party too much, but I found a cookie maker in Middle New York that sells oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, and they are divine.
Do they,
I'm trying to imagine that, and it's just like, huh.
do they ship?
I don't know, but I have
I will-
family
I
up
will
there.
Grubhub some of that shit right now.
Yeah, I have family up there,
1,000
so
miles away.
if I get some, I'll make sure to grab a bunch and ship you some.
Airdrop it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Wait, like airdrop to like your phone? You just download the cookies? Like, all right, airdrop.
Oh, like
All right.
No, oh, you mean like the internet cookies?
Oh,
Oh,
like
okay.
drop a cookie on my head? Like a big one.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
So
All right,
Kavir,
all
least
right,
the
let's
size of
get
our
back. We're playing a game.
Kaviri is walking towards the I guess like
Party?
walking toward the party, walking towards the center of the temple, correct?
Correct, yes. And what you
Okay.
see is that most of the shrine itself has been dilapidated or otherwise ravaged by time, nature, etc. The statue of Tiamat that is in the center of the shrine, you have several of the heads missing. In addition to several of the wings, they're sort of chipped or otherwise sort of marred in some way. But you do see before you do see what appears to be a human woman wearing a robes of Tiamat, so sort of a dark umber with chromatic sort of trappings throughout. You, of course, see Gianvi, you see Tazrash, you see Kapak, and you see Callian. And I guess since we do have a new person with us, why don't we very briefly go through those four? Just a very brief physical description, and then we'll jump into play proper. So let's start with Gianvi on the left.
So you notice a fully armored figure. He very rarely takes it off. Protruding from the front of his head is a horn, which is also encased in armor, and upon his hands are little bejeweled, or not bejeweled, not bedazzled, but two little sapphires in the gauntlets and such. And he seems to be a hulking figure of about 6'1". And as he has a conversation, he takes off his helmet, and you realize this is a very scrawny, very gaunt blue dragonborn.
Taz is not a super tall dragonborn. He's like 6 foot. He is a red dragon. He's armored up. He's got himself a big old maul, big old hammer that he wields with him, and he looks disapproving constantly. That's the best description of Taz.
Kapak is a black dragonborn, stands about 6 feet tall. He has horns that curl downward and finned ridges going back past from just behind his eyes, past his the back of his head. He is wearing what is essentially stained, almost muddy cloth garb, like traveler's garb, and around his legs and ankles and his hands, wrists, and lower forearm are bandages, cloth bandages wrapped around that hang all a little bit down and are also seem to be water stained almost.
And then Callion?
You would see a green Dragonborn. He has his fins off the side of his head, the long stripe that is that goes down his back. Wearing minimal armor and a couple weapons on him, daggers and a rapier, and yeah,
okay.
He's just there.
So if everyone had turned around, they would see Kaviri, and she's walking toward the statue at first, and she kind of puts her hand out and is walking around the statue. She was originally looking at it, but as she kind of comes around the front of it towards nearest you all, you could tell that she's actually she's looking at each one of you, but only like a passing glance. And she turns away and she actually walks kind of up front. She looks at the priestess for a moment and gives a bit of a knowing nod to the priestess, but not necessarily saying anything to her first. Mm-hmm. And she goes up to each one of you kind of individually and just looks at you, almost studies you in a way. When she gets close to you, you can feel the air get considerably cooler around her, and her eyes are like she's almost looking through you in a way. Like, you notice her eyes are so intensely blue and so intense in focus that she's just studying you, and she doesn't say anything. She just looks at you and then moves to the next person, looks at you, moves to the next person, and then she settles kind of behind the four of you, kind of looking at the priestess now. And she speaks out to the priestess. I wouldn't have imagined a servant of Tiamat being human.
She does.
Well, as Tiamat's form comes in many different forms, you know what, let me restart that sentence. It's an early morning for me, and Vizas, the priestess, sort of pulls out a mug of coffee that she apparently comes out of nowhere, and she sips it and goes, what I mean to say is that Tiamat has worshippers that come in many forms, many races, species, etc. Let's just say that there's a reason why I look the way I do, but welcome our new priestess to the Chromatic Crusaders. And she introduces everybody in turn, going down the line, and finally comes back to you, Kaviri, and says, what may we call you?
Kaviri.
Kaviri, I see. Might I assume that you have experienced the same visions and portents that the others have?
Yes, my continued worship and study of the teachings of Tiamat have led me here.
Very good, very good. Then I believe you will be a perfect fit for this group. Now, this was supposed to be Osira's show, but apparently Osira is a very heavy sleeper. I tried to wake her up, and she's pretty far out, so I guess I will tell you what your next mission shall be. Apparently, the Bahamut shrine in the town of Seraph Grove holds a special relic And that is what Osira was initially slated to steal, was this relic. Now, what I can tell you of this relic is very little. I know that it is basically a bust of Bahamut himself. It is made out of a platinum or a platinum-colored material, and it holds great importance for the shrine. Now, it's not going to desecrate the shrine if you steal it. However, there is something to be said if you desecrate the shrine in the process. However, as with your last mission, your key deciding factor of how you approach this should be that you still need to be welcome in Seraph Grove at the end of the day. So whatever you do, make sure that you don't get on the bad side of the guards, if you will. You're muted, Darewolf, as is tradition.
All right. So as she finishes her sentence, Taz will turn to Kellyanne, and will just make a step forward. You seem to be the most sleuthy of all of us. How would you suggest we go about doing this without raising too much suspicion?
I'd preferably speak to Osira and see what she knew, but I did manage to scout out some information about those who are in the Temple of Bahamut, and so we know that we are outnumbered by a decent amount. I would like to do some research as to what security is like on the temple, but it might be a good idea to have one of us seek entrance normally and see how things go.
So I'm hearing two suggestions from you. The first is to learn from the mistakes of our new compatriot and not repeat them. The second is to gather more information about the temple. Very wise.
Being outnumbered only matters if we're gonna get in a fight.
Similar to our first foray into the city, I would suggest we keep fighting as a last-ditch effort.
You are surprisingly reserved for a red dragonborn. It's refreshing.
And you are surprisingly competent.
Well, when you grow up in a swamp, you're either competent or dead.
I like you, Tiamat's Mercy. I like you very much.
I think Vizaz says, well, if you require anything from the shrine here, I am happy to provide it, but otherwise, please, go forth and enact Tiamat's will.
While we are gone, would it be possible for either of you to begin a slight reconstruction of this statue? Standing by it in such a dilapidated state does my heart some pain.
And I think Vizaz looks over at the little kobold Alpha and says, Alpha, do you still have that granite downstairs? And Alpha goes, oh, yeah, we still got the granite stuff downstairs. You want me to use it on the statue? If you would be so kind, Alpha, yes. Oh boy, I haven't done stoneworking in a long time.
When I return, I will be happy to assist you, little evil one. And I'll walk over and pat him on the head, because I like Alpha. He's a good guy.
So, before I transition scenes, does anybody need or want anything from the shrine or the priestess before we move on?
I just wanted to confirm, did we rest during this time?
You did, yes. You did get a long rest in, so you should be back at full HP, full spell slots, etc., etc.
Because I guess I can have with I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to relearn your name. Asylum Kaviri. Kaviri, yeah. So I just had Artificer infusions. I wanted to put on. But essentially, Gianbi has been bothering Ufel the entire time. He's like, stop moving. And he's been,
Making
like,
me uncomfortable.
all over his like armor, and he's like grabbing it and looking at it. And he's like,
What are you?
aha! And he takes a red gem and he slams it into your chest.
Yeah.
And now you have +1 to your armor.
Oh,
You have +1 to AC.
looking down. What strange and unnecessary magic have you done to my armor?
Strange and unnecessary. Listen, buddy, pal. And he's like patting your armor off and like takes your little cheeks, and he's like, you have the tendency to have people not like you. And when those people want to hurt you, now they can't do it that easily.
I accept this with great caution and reticence.
Oh, good, because it's not coming off. Bye. And he just cartwheels away, but he can't
A
cartwheel.
little bit
so
of
he just
fire,
kinda-
like a little bit of smoke comes out of his mouth. And I was
Very-
just starting to tolerate him.
Kaviri looks at Alpha and kind of out loud, not to anyone in particular, just kind of, is that our pet of some sort?
I mean, I've been called many things, but a pet, yes, I could be a pet. And again, since you are new, Alpha is basically a green kobold, but they're a winged kobold, which means that technically, if you were to go into the social strata, they're above other kobolds, but I leave that still to your decision how you treat them.
As Kaviri speaks to the kobold, Taz will turn to her and will address her. Kaviri, I made a mistake with our last white dragon, assuming that they were a actual priest. What skills do you bring to our small company here?
There's no doubt that you are going to be skeptical of me. But let me remind you, I'm here also by choice. My skills are that of the non-martial variety.
Can you elaborate?
You will see in time.
Very, very secretive, much like a priestess. And Taz will have a big dumbass grin on his face and walk off looking very proud and full of himself. To the city!
Kaviri just stone faces you the entire time.
I believe before we head to the city, we should none too gently wake up our guest and gather what information that she has.
It's funny you mention that because, looking like she's just crawled out of a, hole in the ground, Osira kind of comes from the back of the shrine and kind of rubbing her eyes, goes, you're all still here. Hi. Thanks again for busting me out, by the way.
It was our pleasure.
And for
definition
Kaviri,
of busting.
for Kaviri, Osira is again a yellow dragonborn. She has kind of this white, sort of tentacle-ish hair, standard 4E, 5E dragonborn where they kind of have tentacle things for hair. She's wearing a standard sort of cloth robe, and in general does have a sort of like an emblem or a necklace of Tiamat. So she does appear to be at least on your side, at least at first glance.
So Kaviri sees that it's a yellow dragonborn and instantly kind of takes a defensive stance. And then, like, once she does the once over and sees the pendant of Tiamat, she relaxes considerably. And she kind of tilts her hand, a yellow dragonborn. There aren't many of you left, are there?
No, quite indeed. There's maybe really only a handful of us in this area.
And Kaviri nods, kind of in understanding and also expectation. And she goes, well, seeing as you are a follower of Tiamat, I am glad you are safe.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, sorry. I mean, I just haven't had a good night's rest like that since, before I got thrown in prison. You look like you guys want to ask me something.
The Temple of Bahamut. It is our understanding that there is some sort of bust that we can liberate from said temple.
Yes, indeed. The bust of Bahamut that I was originally coming to steal and sell off later on, yes. So, the bust itself is fairly large, all things considered. It's actually quite the size of Alpha here. She kind of points at Alpha, and Alpha gives a little salute. And it's quite heavy, at least as far as I was able to gather. We're looking at a 1 to 2 person job just to carry the thing. In general, though, it's something that the shrine only breaks out for special occasions, meaning that they don't just keep it on display, but it also carries great significance. Meaning if you steal it or destroy it, it will look very bad for the shrine. Which is, of course, the desired outcome, but...
The purpose of this mission is to demoralize our enemies.
That is correct.
Do you know if it is made out of fully metal?
I know Sarah thinks for a moment. I wasn't able to confirm it, but my sources do say it is made out of a platinum material.
Do we need to truly steal it or simply destroy it?
Now, Sarah kind of thinks for a moment, puts a hand to her chin. Well, I guess if you stole it, I'd still be able to sell it, or we could melt it down and make it into something else. But if you destroy it and you make it so that they find out about it, they will probably lose favor in the city, at least to some aspect. Apparently it was a gift from the manor of, or sorry, not the manor, the, oh, what would you call him? Not the overlord, and she kind of fishes around for a few words. Not the overlord, not the noblesse, the bigwig in the castle is what I'm trying to say here.
The idiot in charge.
There you go.
Well, then I suggest that we do not try to steal it, but instead destroy it right where they keep it.
There would be value in taking it. There is a greater insult when a holy artifact of your goddess is simply stolen away in the night and you find that it is gone in the morning. If it is destroyed, obviously that accomplishes a similar amount of demoralization, but to truly take such a respected piece of their religion, now that would be a true insult.
But wouldn't it also be an insult to leave it very specifically desecrated? Say, if it's a statue, a bust, you defile its face.
Yeah, we draw a mustache on it.
What if we both stole it and made it seem as if it was destroyed?
We leave simply one aspect of it, perhaps the head, and take the rest of the body.
I was thinking quite the opposite.
Quite the
If
opposite.
we take the head and leave the body, that sends a much greater message.
I see your point. So
And
we
it'll
have
be easier to
different
carry.
options then. Destroy it, steal it in entirety, or leave a piece of it as an insult.
And Kaviri turns to Osira and asks, when is the next time they're going to break this out?
Well, my information's a little bit out of date, but my understanding is apparently there's some form of Holy Week of Bahamut coming up, and anybody who cares to, you may roll me a religion here, just to get our rolling jitters out of the way. All right, a 16 from Taz.
Your pack doesn't care about Bahamut's religion.
That's probably a good thing in your case. A 19 for Kaviri, a 16 for Callian. Anybody else going to roll? Okay. So you three with 16, the DC was only a 14, so you will know this. You do know that this is basically a festival of Bahamut. It is sort of a celebration of all that Bahamut is. Or, to put it another way, it's Bahamut Con. They're going to be hosting guests. They're going to be celebrating and having festival material where they have both entertainment, worship services, etc., etc. And what you would know is that the last time a Bahamut Con like this was held, there was the appearance of an old man with several canaries that floated around him, which, with a 19, I will tell Kaviri specifically, you know that is traditionally what Bahamut uses as an avatar.
Mm-hmm. Kaviri turns and she tells the group, to my understanding, I believe some of us would be familiar with this. It's a larger celebration of Bahamut, but it's to my understanding that he makes an appearance, but not in his true form, in his avatar, in his secret form, a man with canaries. It's something we're going to have to be cautious of.
Well, it is still a ways into the future, so as long as we succeed in this mission before that happens, then we do not have to worry.
Would suggest that when we try to get a hold of this bust, that we do it in any kind of preparation state that they are doing to avoid interacting with his avatar.
How are you, Kellyanne, when it comes to disguising yourself or bluffing your way into a situation? I know you are indeed quiet and sneaky, but do you feel you would be capable and competent enough to act as our forward scout into the temple?
I would say I am acquainted with disguises and the like, but I do not know what if any defenses the temple has. So more knowledge is needed.
Volunteering, then. You shall be our forward scout.
I know a little bit about being hard to detect. I believe if we try to infiltrate the temple at night, we'll have a better chance of infiltrating without being detected.
Is the temple open at all hours of the day for worshippers to come, or does the gate or doors lock at a certain point? He motions, or he's like giving that.
At Osira, yeah, I gotcha. So Osira kind of thinks for a moment and says, best I could tell, it's sort of a sunrise to sundown affair. Not really a specific time set, it's just sort of whenever the sun goes down. But
public park.
Yeah, kinda. But she looks very specifically at Gianvi for a moment and says, I have something in mind for you. What is it you can do as an artificer? What can you do in terms of enhancement?
What can I do? What can I do? Let's see, run fast, jump fast, shoot things from far away. I can tell you what things are. Disguises. Want an alarm? Want an alarm? What do you want?
Can you swim?
Huh?
Swim, you know, the thing where you get in the water and you paddle around and...
I don't see how that's any of your business. But,
I'm going to take that as a no then.
Hey, I can swim, just I will need a little bit of time to create something to
A
help me
flotation
swim
device.
better. Yes, a flotation device. Because I don't want to drown.
This is
That's a
Osir.
normal. He's just like look around the room as he's getting called out. This is a normal feeling for normal Dragonborn that we don't want to drown, right?
This is Osiris talking to Gianvi.
Mm-hmm.
Just the sass that's going on, you actually hear Kaviri like chuckle.
I like this priestess. She has humor.
If you give me that many hours, I should be able to get a something breathing device. I can swim, kind of.
So why do we need him to swim?
Well, he is one of the ones wearing the heaviest armor. I have no doubt that Taz can swim because Red Dragonborn are infamous swimmers. GM's note, they are not.
When
Taz does not argue, simply just nods his head.
Doubt.
when Gianvi holds up fingers to say how many hours, you hear Kaviri go, "Dear goddess, he's simple."
I'm the smartest one here.
And she
Hey,
So nobody backs him up. It's like,
Yeah.
The
Avoiding
silence.
all eye contact with Yanvi.
The silence
go.
is deafening.
But Osira goes on to say, the reason I bring up swimming is because there is another way into the temple other than the front door, but it's really risky, and I only really considered it because I was operating alone. But I suppose I should mention it as an option all the same. If you travel along the river right before it enters into the port of Seraph Grove proper, there's a cave network, and if you swim through the caves, you can emerge into the undercroft of the temple. But as I said, it's risky. I don't know what they've got defenses-wise down there, and if you can't swim or are wearing heavy armor, that could be a problem.
I wouldn't suggest that one.
But it does afford us a way to get deep into the temple without being detected.
Logically, yeah.
Do you prefer to bluff your way through?
Oh, me and Tazzy over here, we know it all about bluffing. We easy stuff.
Stone face non-agreement.
He gets it.
All right.
I love our relationship.
Yeah, I know, it's great.
You're the best person. I love you, man.
No, I love you.
Oh boy. So I can get into the cave network and at least do some investigating.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody else wants to actually take the front and see if there's anything of note for us to be wary of.
the main part of the temple,
Mm-hmm.
entering the temple. A temple is a place of worship. I feel comfortable enough to go in.
Do you feel like you would be able to comfortably enter and interact with the worshippers of Bahamut without conflict?
Of course. There's one thing that people of faith love to help. It's people in need of help. A simple explanation of being lost and needing law and order should get me in just fine.
Deception, guile.
I see that your faith in Tiamat is very strong. That is good. Now, I think we have a good understanding of what we should be doing and what we should be scouting, but Osira, how did you get caught?
Well, as you know, it wasn't so much that I got caught as I was just sort of at an inn gambling with some folks and some asshole cheated and I stabbed him and the guards didn't like that.
Ah, yes, I forgot. You're an idiot.
I take offense to that.
You should.
Wasn't a compliment. Like,
I apologize. I for a moment I thought you were competent.
Well,
Do not take offense from it. Take it as a opportunity to just be better.
I'm going to listen to the red one here. I think the red one has words of wisdom.
the reality is we are asking her for guidance. I don't think we're in a position to be making fun of her.
I
don't
was not
feel we are
making
so necessarily asking for guidance, but simply an explanation of where she went wrong so we do not repeat the same mistakes. But I do see your point, Priestess.
Yes, her information is sound. Her methods were not.
Brilliant.
I have no judgment.
I don't know. It sort of sounds like you're being judgy to me as Alpha runs past with like a bunch of stone and a hammer and just starts like sort of like pasting the stone back onto the statue.
That I do get that a lot.
Where did he get the glue?
Yeah, that's the question. Where did he get the glue? You don't know.
We don't want to know.
Just
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. All right, so at that, I think we are going to transition to Seraph Grove just so that we can get a change of map here and I can start to point out some things. So first things first, for our newer player, I'll sort of give a quick overview of Seraph Grove. So Seraph Grove is quite literally the Power Rangers ripoff of Angel Grove. And in general, you're looking at approaching the city usually from the south. The actual keep, castle, whatever you want to call it, is located to the southwest of the city. You have noble quarters to the east. You have an actual institution known as Seraph College also to the east. The actual harbor and slum area is to the northwest. And then sort of in the center of Seraph Grove, you have markets, the prison, there's a coliseum as well, and basically the standard sort of accoutrements you would expect. Now, the Shrine of Bahamut that you will be hitting, stealing from, whatever you want to call it, is this building here that is sort of surrounded by a small bit of greenery. So it is a fairly well-to-do affair, multi-story sort of building, and in general is surrounded by not a full fenced-in area, but sort of a still delineating between where the shrine grounds begin and where the rest of the city starts as well. Now, in terms of getting into the city, I sort of leave that up to you all. Where you last came into the city, you all did so as individuals, but would you care to come in as a group, or would you still want to do the individual thing?
Callion would probably go with the individual just because he's coming in to do some investigating on the waterfront.
Okay. What about the rest of you? Are you guys going to do individual thing as well, or are you going to come in as a group?
I'm gonna stick with my buddy, Givanvi.
I think we could probably safely come in as a group. We've been seen in town as a group. We did lawyering.
Okay. They know that we're not. So long as we're not walking around with our Tiamat symbols out, I'm pretty sure they think we're just four assholes.
Just to not give away the relationship between the group and Kaviri. Kaviri will go in alone.
Okay.
But beforehand, she will ask if there is a certain place that they meet up, so that after her own reconnaissance, I guess, is done, she knows where to meet up with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Food court.
We meet up in the market. They have a wonderful fish fry.
And
Fish fry.
she gives Derwolf, if you were saying something, you were muted.
I was just mouthing. That sounds good.
Okay. And she nods and goes, "Understood."
All right. So, our good friend Callian and our new friend Kaviri, you all will enter in as individuals, and as such, will not be harassed by the guards as you come inside. As for the remaining three, Kapak, Taz, and Gyanvi, as you three approach the main gates of the city as a group, you see two individuals, which I will introduce once again since we have a new player. So you see a sort of bulky individual in guard sort of clothing and armor, carrying around a pike. And then there's a skinnier individual that looks like you could snap him like a twig. And both of them are standing guard on either side of the main gate. And as the three of you approach, the larger of the one says, "Hey, Cranium, look, the circus is back in town." And Cranium looks over, kind of laughs and says, "Hey, Magnitude, you're right. It's the freaks who totally blackmailed us and got us in trouble." "Oh yeah, Cranium, you're right. These are the assholes that got us sort of banned from gambling."
We didn't so much as, how do I put this, blackmail you, but forcibly guide you on the right path.
I don't know, Cranium, that sort of sounds like blackmail to me. What do you think? I don't know, Magnitude. I mean, he's got a point. I mean, he didn't exactly hold it over our heads very long.
Sounds like we did you a favor.
Had the true law in this city found you, your punishment would have been far more severe. I will make a persuasion check, and I will fail.
I don't know. I think that's a 22. I think you're going to succeed. And I think...
No, he said fail. He has to now.
Yep.
I got it. This is how we'll do it.
To take a 10 instead. No, I'm kidding.
I think this is how we'll do it. I think the two are kind of look at each other, and they go, "You know what? You're right. We should turn over a new leaf. But Magnitude, what are we going to do? I mean, if we can't gamble, how are we going to make money?" Magnitude looks back at Cranium and goes, "I think we're going to have to get a second job." "What? A second job? Do we even have time for that?"
Interesting you should mention a second job. Have you ever considered manual labor? We have this tool we're trying to rebuild, and I feel like those two strong arms of yours on each of you could be put to great use in rebuilding it.
Shrine, huh? Hey, Magnitude, isn't your second cousin twice removed? Isn't he, what do you call them? People who work with stone. And Magnitude thinks and says, yeah, I don't remember the name of it either, but yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, my cousin, yeah, he does good statue work.
Is your cousin a dwarf?
My cousin is a dwarf, yes, but I don't see why that's any of your business.
It works with stone.
That seems a little racist.
A lot racist.
Little a lot.
I get that a lot.
Anyways, I mean, yeah, how much are you guys paying?
We'll discuss the finer details at another time. We just wanted to know if you were open to the idea. And then let's go inside the city.
Go inside the city. All right. So, before you all do meet up, I did want to give Callian a little bit of time to go investigate. So, Callian, where are you going to be more or less inspecting first? Are you going to be just sort of doing a tour of the exterior of the shrine? Are you going to go check out those caves I mentioned? Where are you headed at this point in time?
What time of day is it, first thing?
Oh, it's probably about 10, 11 in the morning.
Okay. Yeah, so he would have come in through the slums again, and the temple or the cave entrance was it like
Here, let me zoom out and draw it on the map. So the cave entrance is roughly, let me pick a color that'll actually show up on stream. So the cave entrance is roughly this red square to your southwest. So right there.
Okay. So in that case, he'll go investigate that, and he's just gonna go for a swim.
Okay. So the one thing you will notice is when you go for a swim, you do see that it is your typical cave dive, meaning that it is one of those things where for the entire passage of the cave, you will be underwater, so keep that in mind. But in order to get through the cave network specifically, I need you to roll me in athletics here, please.
Okay.
I would recommend not rolling a natural 1.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
I would like to use. I would like to use my inspiration that I've been holding on to
Go
reroll
ahead.
it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Jinx me.
Don't roll another. Okay, that's good. That's good. 14 is good. All right, so I'm actually going to preemptively put you on a map, but we're not in initiative order, and the rest of you aren't there. You're just there so that you can see what's going on. So as you swim through the cave network, it starts to get to the point where you're starting to wonder if there's ever going to be an end, or if you've sort of just dived into a maze and will die down here. Also, you did just get a +5 from Chet on your next roll, so keep that in mind. But when you finally find another air pocket, you kind of come up for air, and what you see is that you're in sort of a small little beach area where it's still in the cave, but this sort of sandy sort of landing leads to what appears to be a stone temple. You're seeing a bunch of columns, you're seeing a bunch of stonework, and you're also seeing like little symbols of Bahamut every so often inlaid into these columns. What you also see is that there are individuals working down here. There are what appear to be 4 human being directed by 1 silver dragonborn, and they're moving about different crates, different sort of implements, and in general aren't really paying attention to where you are currently, but every once in a while they do come a little bit closer to you. So I will need you to roll me a stealth, please, Callian. And remember, you do have a +5 from chat here.
And okay, where's this? Alrighty.
Don't roll a 1.
Stop.
Well-
Don't do this again. Don't do this again.
If I roll a 1, the odds are just completely not in my favor because I roll with advantage.
Okay, fair enough. 24 is more than sufficient. So yeah, your innate knowledge of waterways and how to be stealthy, they maybe just sort of, their eyes will go over you, but no recognition, as you just seem to be just a part of the part of the stonework and other sort of accoutrements that are floating in the water. Now, if it matters, one thing I neglected to mention is that the lighting is powered by these sort of floating globes that hang above the column. So it's not like a torch sconce or anything of that nature. It seems to be magical lighting of some sort.
Okay. So, can he see like you said that they're moving boxes around?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, just the main question is is anybody actually speaking in here, or are they just following orders that they were given prior to Callian coming up out of the water?
Well, it's one of those things where it's kind of like the priest is acting, or at least the Silver Dragonborn is acting like sort of a foreman, where he's like, yeah, take that one over there. No, move that one there. And, he's kind of directing, but it's not like an actual conversation is happening at the moment.
Mm-hmm. All right. Was there any sign in the caves as he entered?
Mm-hmm.
Of like a gate, of something that would impede other people coming through?
There is a half a gate, is what I would say, is that at one point it does look like someone did try to gate the area off, but you were able to slip through quite well. But what I will tell you is that what that's going to mean is anybody in heavy armor or bulky armor in general will have disadvantage on their athletics check coming through here.
I feel targeted. I feel exactly targeted.
But yeah. Anything else you'd like to do here before we actually go to Kiveri, before we go to break?
All right, so you said this is a sandy area. They're just working around with some crates, minor oversight, a half gate. No, I think that's all I'm going to be able to ask right now.
Okay. All right, so in that case, we're going to go to our priestess, who is checking out the temple itself. Now, as was sort of on the map, the area before the shrine proper is just basically a public park full of greenery and other sorts of finer flowers and exotic plants. You know, your standard sort of, I have money, therefore I must show it off kind of a thing. And the temple itself is much the same, very opulent. It has several fountains with dragon heads pouring water into these little ponds. There's fish swimming around in said ponds. There's various sort of bioluminescent plants that flank the passageway up to the main sort of the temple. But the temple doors are wide open. And in general, if you were to peek inside Kiveri, you would see a tree in the main lobby, as well as rows upon rows of pews, various worship areas like little alcoves where one could do sort of drive-by worshiping, if you get my meaning.
Yeah.
But you're also seeing various Dragonborn and even humans that are just sort of either wearing the colors of Bahamut or are actively showing symbols of him as well.
I have a question.
Yes.
On the other map, there was like
Yes.
a path that led to the side of the building. Is that another entrance, or was that just like to the side of the building itself?
I would say that Callian did not investigate that, but it would stand to reason that if the undercroft that I just showed you is beneath the temple, there would be a way to get down to the undercroft from here.
Okay, so there would I be able just to, because I wanted to walk around the park a little bit just to see, like...
Yeah, feel free to move about it. Dynamic lighting should be enabled, and feel free to move about. I'll be happy to point things out to you. You're at the very bottom of the map.
Okay, I meant the park itself.
Oh, the park itself. Okay.
Yeah, just because there's a like, I just want to go by where that, just to see if there was a door there, like you said, where there would be where that path went to the side of the building.
Why don't you go ahead and roll me a investigation here?
Investigation. Let's do it.
A critical success. Very nice.
Whoop, whoop.
So what you're going to realize is that that sort of side entrance is actively staffed by two heavy armor wielding or heavy armor wearing, pike wielding Dragonborn, both silver. And they seem to be very serious. Like, they're not actively like growling at anybody, but you get the sense that if you were to get any closer to this side entrance, that there might be a problem, kind of a thing.
Okay. In that case, I go back around to the front of the temple, and I let me zoom in here because oh god. All right, so I slowly kind of just walk in, and I see the tree, and I study it a little bit. I want to kind of just take in the surroundings, see if there's anything that like might look different, see how many like clergy there would be for the temple.
So you're looking at maybe about 16 to 18 individuals just milling about the temple, going about their business. There are a few parishioners in the pews sort of offering prayers to Bahamut. But as you sort of move around, what you're seeing is, again, displays of opulence and displays of magical power and prowess. Again, much like the Undercroft, the lighting here is not by torches. It is in these glowing globes that are sort of hanging from the ceiling, if you will. They provide a sort of a bright, almost LED style lighting. So not quite your fluorescent tube that you might see in like standard office or schools, but it is still very much a powerful white, if you will. Every once in a while, you'll see windows to the outside or into other rooms. For example, this room to your right, you do see that. Let me actually point so that you can see. This room over here, that's not showing up. Let me try this color. This room here, which is dynamic lighting. One moment. You do see that there is some form of a kitchen back there. I still can't see anything. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah. So you sort of see a kitchen back there, a space for, or maybe more of a pantry is what I should say. The kitchen is actually up here, further to the north. But you see a pantry, a kitchen area. You see basically what is, I wouldn't call it an amphitheater, but it is in sort of a place for people to come and eat, sit down, etc., etc. You're also seeing that to the very north, past the rows of pews, that there is a open area where there is sort of a large podium where a bust would seemingly be fitted to sit center stage, if that makes any sense.
Okay. And this is open to the public?
This is all open to the public, correct.
Okay. So I kind of wander up one side of the temple into this main room. And I just want to see if there's any, like, if this is the only way in and out of this room, if there's another way in or out.
Well, it's funny you mention that, because if you look to the top north of the map, you sort of see that gray sort of stonework that's different from the others.
Yes.
That is actually a stained glass window that goes from floor to ceiling.
Oh.
And it is, of course, of Bahamut himself, but it might be something that you could use.
All right. I kind of take a look at my surrounding. Am I getting any, like, weird looks or anything? Or am I just,
I would say that in general, some of the priests and acolytes, they're sort of, keeping an eye on you, but they're not, like, actively, like, oh, are they going to be trouble kind of thing. They're just, keeping an eye on you as you move about.
Yeah, just kind of like a cure. Okay. So, all the while, like, Kaviri's still very, she's, like, studying, but almost in, like, a very reverent way. Just, like, really taking her time and kind of absorbing everything. So she will come back out, and then she'll kind of walk down this other side, stopping at some of these stained glass pictures to admire them. Just keeping an eye just to see if there's anything out of the ordinary that stands out. So what's this room right here? Does this
So
lead
the
outside?
area to the left of you there is actually sort of an outside. So past the stained glass window, you see another fountain and a few benches outside where people could come and sit. So it's just an area for, like a little alcove that people could come sit in.
Okay, so this leads to the outside.
Correct.
Okay. So she walks down. And then these are just like little drive-by.
Like
These
places
little
you could
alcoves.
like, what's the collection box? That's the word I want. They're just sort of like collection boxes where people can bring in, give to the church, etc., etc.
Do our characters have any currency on them?
I would say that what I told everybody else is you could have up to 50 gold on your person, but the actual amount is something you track, not me.
Oh, yeah, okay. I ended up with 15 gold.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Okay. All right.
100.
So, on her way out, just to kind of, just to make it seem like she was, I guess, on the up and up. She goes to the collection box and places a gold on it.
And you do see one of the nearby acolytes sort of like nod affirmatively at you, like, yeah, okay.
In Kaviri's head, she's like, I'll be back for that.
Yeah.
And she makes her way out.
All right. And as all of you will meet up in the market next, that is where we're going to take a 5 to 10 minute break. So we'll be back shortly. Stick around.
All right.
There you go. Welcome back, everybody, to part 2 of session 2 of Chromatic Crusaders. Where we last left off, the players, at least parts of them, had gone off to sort of get a view of the temple from both ways that they could conceivably enter and potentially steal a bust of Bahamut before it is needed for a ceremony, or what I'm basically calling Bahamut-Con XXX. But all of you have met up in the markets, and everything that I have told Kallian and Kaviri, all of you are now privy to that same information, just to get us a little bit ahead of the game so you're not sitting here for like 20 minutes regurgitating what I said. So everything has come out, and if you need me to remind you what I said, I can do that as well, but you're sort of in now the planning stage of how to approach this.
So, with the information you've provided, I see 2 possible scenarios. We go in through the main gate, or swim in from the Undercroft. Which do you recommend?
Personally, I'd like to get another pass at the Undercroft. I'd like to see if there's a way that I could finagle that gate so that it would be a quick escape for us one way or the other, even if we came in that way. Because there is no way that at the very least Gianvi or possibly even you, Taz, would get through that area with ease. So if we want that to be our escape route for staying hidden, it would be best if we had it as cleared out as possible.
Wise words.
I might be able to help with that. The water would dilute my acid, but I should still be able to get enough of it to burn the rest of the gate out if it is as dilapidated as you say.
And unfortunately, it doesn't seem as though we can do anything inside the temple quietly. There is a door, but it's heavily guarded, a side door, but it's heavily guarded by 2 guards. The only other option we would have would be akin to a smash and grab. It looks like the bust would be in the furthest chamber from the entrance, but there is a quite gaudy floor-to-ceiling stained glass window of Bahamut. And the only, even after we exit, even if we were able to exit the temple that way, we would still have to escape from the grounds of the temple to the nearest exit of the city, which, to my knowledge, is quite far.
This inspires me with a perhaps different approach to the stained glass window. If we were to smash it from the exterior, it would draw many of the temple's inhabitants towards that smashed window, and perhaps give us just the few moments of time we need to enter, steal the bust, and make our escape.
I personally like the water entrance, but I feel like if we want to really throw things for a loop, I saw a you will recall that I said that I saw a platinum dragonborn. Should things devolve into combat, as they likely will if he is down there when we attempt to enter that way, we could always grab some of his scales and put them near where the bust will be. And when we make our escape with it, if we manage to make it out unseen and somebody investigates, well, what do they find? Platinum Dragonborn scales.
Touché.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, we have
But-
our image to think of. We need to be able to enter and exit this city easily in the future.
We would also, if we were to interact with this platinum dragon, we would have to hide whatever remnants we have of it after we take the scales. We can't leave the body to find, because then
I think that it would not behoove us to try to set up one of the priests as the wrongdoer in this situation. It would only discredit the fact that Tiamat has successfully defaced one of Bahamut's temples.
It is also not a lasting deception, as that dragon would likely be reborn, brought back to life by the god.
I thought that was only the select few.
Who is to say if he is one of those select few or not?
Gotta be careful. Yeah, we have no clue where these fancy ones are either and such. So we got to be on the lookout for that. Personally, I've done some tinkering. I think the swimming thing could work. Not well, but it can work. Because let's be honest here, we're playing the stealth game already, and we've done pretty good with the old yellow mane back there and such. So we gotta keep that going.
There is no pretty good when it comes to going in through a water cave. You're either successful or dead.
Mm-hmm. And it is treacherous. So,
Wait, George.
if you come with me to investigate the gate, we should look into setting up a system that would make it easier for us to get in, and then we will remove it on our way out.
How long is this cave system? If we tighten a rope at the beginning of the cave mouth and run it along, that would allow the others at least to not get lost and should speed up progress.
Mm-hmm. Personally, I was thinking about a rope to the gate as we move it aside, so that the gate was there, and that way we can just untie it from the gate as we leave. But how long was the cavern system again?
So the cavern system was easily about, I'm doing math in my head here because I forgot to tell you the actual distance. We're looking at about 200 feet. And for reference, what you can do is if you're in medium armor, you can swim 15 feet per round. But paradoxically, if you have heavy armor, you can actually sink and otherwise move yourself a little bit easier. So you know what, I'm going to house rule that, and I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that everybody, even if you have heavy armor, it's 20 feet per round, so you're looking at 10 rounds or 1 minute to swim through the caves. Now, also important to note is that in order to hold your breath, everybody has a 1 plus con bonus minutes of holding your breath before you fall unconscious. So real quick, what is everybody's con mod? All right, so Gyanvi, you can hold 3 minutes. Callian, 3 minutes.
3.
All right, so you
wow.
can hold yours 4. Taz, so you also can hold yours 4. What about...
I got a whopping con mod of 1.
So 2 minutes. So Kapak is actually the weak link here.
Weak one.
All right. So just keep that in mind, is that it will take you about a minute to swim through the caves and get to the next air pocket. But again, getting through the gate may be a problem.
Callian, it seems that you know the way. You've been through it twice. If we pattern a rope on the outside of the cave all the way through to the end, and pattern another one at the end, we can always unhook the rope from the last pattern. Because if we want to remove that gate, I am confident that I can burn it out. And then, what was the current situation? Would the current move the gate out of the way enough to allow entry for our heavier armored compadres?
Wait, that is a good question. Was there a current in that
There
area?
was not a current. It was all stagnant.
Okay. So, no, there was actually no current. And I was more talking for the gate, we would want to move it and then just try and move it back into place, because if they investigate that area, they will see that somebody has altered it, and if not many people know about it, then that would lead them to know that somebody was there.
Well, somebody's gonna know someone was there anyway. We're stealing the bust.
Actually, does the space look like there was enough of an opening for the bus to pass through that gate opening?
Based on the dimensions you've been given so far, it would be a bit of a work to get it through, but conceivably, yes, it would fit. It would just take some elbow grease.
Okay. So that's likely going to need to be the people who can hold their breath for 4 minutes.
What does this gate look like?
So the gate itself is kind of like, I'm trying to remember the actual term of it, but it's kind of like those interlocking squares where it comes down. Let me see if I can actually find what it's actually called real quick. But it's kind of what you would expect on like a standard castle gate that isn't like the main door.
Portcullis.
That's the one I want, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So instead of moving the entire gate, why don't we just try to create a hole in it large enough?
Well, that is my suggestion.
I mean, if we're going to want to mess with the gate, then we should work to just remove it in its entirety.
You said that there is no current, so I am very comfortable in stagnant water. I should be able to burn through that gate without much issue.
All right.
Is
Sounds
the
like
gate
you guys-
underwater? I missed
The gate is underwater, yes. It is going
Okay.
from floor to ceiling in the cave, so it does look like it was sort of arranged to be a block at one point. But
Okay.
it sounds like you guys have a plan, so I'm just going to go ahead and put you back on this map preemptively. All right, so very important series of rolls here as you all start to mess with the gate. So, Capac, I need first from you an athletics check to get to the gate without any issues. And the DC on this is just a 12, so pretty easy DC, all things considered.
So if we go with the rope thing, where Callian puts a rope going through the cave system, does that lower the DC, give me advantage?
This is including that.
All right, sweet. Athletics.
All right, 16. You are able to get to the gate, no issue. You have about, I would say, a minute 30 seconds based on your constitution while holding your breath.
Yeah. So then, because black dragons are slightly aquatic, Capac's got that thing that alligators have, where their tongue closes up their airway so they can open their mouth. And yeah, if you want, I will absolutely burn my use of the breath weapon to just create a hose with my mouth and go to the parts of the gate that are attached to the wall and just literally shoot acid right through and burn through them, enough of them so that Ufel can come in with his mace and just smash through them.
Yeah, I like it. I'm trying to think about how to adjudicate this. Why don't you... Because your breath attack automatically hits...
I'm also doing it like a almost like a welding torch.
Yeah,
on
that's
my
what
face.
I'm trying to think. Because the hell is a welding roll in D20? Go ahead and roll me a ranged attack, I think is how we'll handle this. So a D20 plus your dex here, I believe.
Roll for well.
Am I proficient in my face attack?
I would say you are proficient. Yes, you may add your proficiency bonus.
No clue what you're doing. Just
Just vomiting acid everywhere. A 24. 24 is more than sufficient. That I'm going to say with such a great roll that you are able to, even without Taz's help, get rid of most of the gate. Now, there still is some gate there, but it is going to be much easier to get bulky objects through, meaning that the disadvantage is no longer present.
Then, yeah, Capac will come out right after Callian in the water. Is it how far away from me are we from this group of people? Are they still there?
They are still there. It's only been about an hour and they're still moving boxes, so you still do see the 4 human and the 1 silver dragonborn that is currently sort of situated among the columns of this storage area.
Right, so I'll give Callian a thumbs up, and I'll go back go back across to get the rest of them.
Okay. So, once you get the go-ahead, I am going to need an athletics from Kianvi, from Kiveri, and from Taz.
Athletics.
Yep.
You're gonna see that.
Oh, boy.
He's gonna be all like, "All right, eyes up, beep," and he's gonna hit a little thing and give himself a guidance.
Okay.
And
So we'll get a D4 on that. It does look like Kaveri is rolling only a 6, so we'll deal with that in a moment.
Capac will absolutely help whoever seems to be struggling.
Yeah, if I see Kaviri struggling, Taz will
Capac.
reach back.
Yeah.
We can both just drag her along with us.
And this is why I say query for advantage, because the rolls are queued.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let me see. What did you roll there, Taz? You rolled a 16. All right. So, Gianvi, when Taz, you two together are going to get through fine, but you do notice that Chiavari is kind of floundering in the water. So both of you, as said, sort of reach back and grab her and pull you along with them. But what I'm going to say is that when you emerge in the sandy beaches of the Undercroft, I am going to need a stealth roll from Kaveri to see if you either come up going, oh, can't breathe, kind of a thing, or if you are able to keep your composure and otherwise, remain stealthy.
A stealth check?
Stealth check, please, yes.
All right.
16, yes, you are able to keep your composure. You are not giving away your position at this point.
I silently turn to the two that helped, and I just give a little bow of acknowledgement and thankfulness.
Yeah, we're pretty great. Don't worry about it.
That's all.
All right, so now you all are in the Undercroft proper. What is it you wish to do?
Kabak will very quietly whisper to the group, "No witnesses."
So what I'm hearing is I need to get initiative on the screen.
That's
what I
dark.
heard.
Oh, that's super dark. I'm about it.
All right, so that should be everybody in turn order. Oh, hey, Shiro Luffy, how you doing? So let me go ahead and roll initiative for these guys. It's going to take me a bit, but it is what it is. All right, where is their sheet? There it is. All right, so they have a grand, and you guys can roll initiative as I'm doing all this. They have a +1.
Don't
and
forget to click on your token.
Yes,
Uh,
First off, tokenness.
Oh wait, how does this work?
so
You click on your token. On your sheet, there's a section above your hit points that says Armor Class Initiative Speed. Click on Initiative.
Okay, so click that. Like that.
Ooh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, and then the priest has a grand total of, let's see, boop. Excellent. All right, well, sort by descending. I'll switch the music over to combat music. All right, well, Kapak, you are going to go first with a 22.16.
okay. Did I burn my breath weapon getting through the grate?
You did, yes.
Sure. Great. Great. All right. Well, I think the thing that I'm gonna do is how far away is everyone? Oh,
I think they're
with
mostly 30 to 40 feet away from you.
absolutely can hit all these people. So what I think I will do is draw my sword and charge the priest.
Okay. So, Kapak, you come charging out of the water like a man possessed or a dragonborn possessed, and I will say you will have advantage because this is technically a surprise action here.
Oh, good. Because I'm gonna sword swing and then flurry of blows.
Okay. So that's going to be a grand total. That is a success, 3 successes. So that is, what,
Why is that
15,
so piercing?
19, 23 by my count.
Holy shit! Yeah. That's
Yeah.
23 damage.
So yeah, you come up and strike the Bahamut priest as your sword begins to glow with fire. You swipe across their chest and carve in past their plate armor before they are any the wiser. And they let out a great gasp and sort of cry of alarm, but at this point, it is now Kaveri's turn.
All right. Okay. Can I? So Kaveri is going to move. One.
Don't forget, if you're moving your token around as you're holding it down, if you right-click, it will show you the distances you're moving.
Oh, it's kind of being weird. Sorry, give me a second. Why is it not? It's not working. Hold on.
Yeah, just
So
roll 20, being roll
left click
20.
and drag your token while holding down the left click button, right click, and then you'll be able to see the
Yeah.
distance that your character is moving.
For some reason.
Oh, no,
that-
there it went.
That was me.
That's him.
Oh,
For
that's
some reason,
him.
it's not
Okay.
working for me.
Do you have
Sorry.
the mouse selected? Because it could be if you're on the ruler tool, it's
No,
not going to let you do it.
I have the select move. I've selected, but it's not letting me.
If you want, you can just click on your token and then use the arrow keys.
That works too.
Oh, can I?
You can do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't show me how far. But it's 5 foot spaces.
It's 5
right?
foot per square. Yeah, standard.
Yeah, that's
standard
not a problem.
distances.
I just need to 5, 10, 15, 20.
Mhm.
And then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Okay. So I'm going to use a spell.
Okay.
Tasha's Mind Whip.
Ooh. Oh, real quick. March 3258. Thank you for the 10 bits. Thank you. But yeah, Tasha's Mind Whip. Remind me what that does.
So I'm going to do it so that it shows up. There you go.
Okay.
I psychically lash out at one creature I can see within range. It must make an intelligence saving throw. On a
Okay.
failed save, the target takes 3d6 psychic damage, and it can't take a reaction until end of the next turn. Moreover, on its next turn, it must choose whether it gets a move, an action, or bonus action. It only gets one of the three. On a save, it takes half as much damage and no other effects.
All right, and who are you hitting with this?
I'm going to hit the Bahamut Priest.
Okay. Well, I don't have high hopes, but let's see what happens. No, they fail, so it's very dependent on the damage you roll here.
All right, 3D. Sorry.
Max damage.
3d6.
And that is sufficient that when you cyclically lash out at the priest, what happens is like strings have been cut on a puppet. The priest crumples and falls to the ground dead. Actually, because I did do this in your first combat. So what I said to them, the group initially, was that you have the option of knocking out rather than killing. So would you like them to be dead or knocked out?
We'll knock him out.
Knock
No
them out.
witnesses.
Well, it's unconscious, so they won't be witnessing
Exactly.
nothing.
All right. So
I
I'm
don't know. I
going to
think
go
they got
ahead
a
and
good
mark.
look at me stabbing them in the chest.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and mark anybody that is unconscious with a red X and a red dot, and that's how we'll know they're unconscious.
Beautiful.
Excellent. All right, so the Acolyte here is going to see and hear all of that and is going to go, holy crap, they took down George! George, no! And the Acolyte is going to bring up his great axe and is going to go for Capac, because Capac, you're kind of right there, buddy. So, how do you feel about, I don't think an 8 hits you, does it?
No, AC is 16.
All right. Next one is going to be this Acolyte. This Acolyte is going to similarly kind of come up. Let me move Priest to the back here. He's going to stand over the Priest's body and is going to actually grant advantage on any melee attack used against him, as I don't even think a 14 hits you.
16 is the number to beat.
Yep, which means Taz, it is now your go.
I will charge forward, and as he does so, he takes out his great hammer thingy and says Ipfasharan, which is draconic for flames, and it bursts into flames, and then he will just attempt to bring it down on this dude's head.
All right.
Because screw that guy in particular.
21 is more than
Whoa.
sufficient.
For that would be
15.
That is 15.
Yeah.
15 damage.
So as you strike him over the head, he kind of stumbles back a little bit. Maybe bits of his hair are alight, but he stumbles back and goes, "Oh Lord, someone go sound the alarm. We have intruders." And I think what that's going to mean is that this Acolyte to the right on his turn is actually going to come around and go for you, Taz. So I don't think this is going to hit you, but I'll roll it anyway. Don't think a 12 hits you. Which brings us now.
A quick, just like
Yes.
pop in the nose, just like stop it, fly.
All right, which means Gyanvi, you're up next.
And our good little Gyanvi has switched his armor over to the guardian armor. So now he's got a fist of thunder.
Ooh.
But he realizes that he's got to get real close to bop somebody on the nose, and probably hearing the idea of sound the alarm, notices that guy all the way over there by his little lonesome, and he's like, "Oh no, buddy, you're not getting away." Activating "Get the heck out of here" protocol. Boop, and he clicks his heels together as he activates Expeditious Retreat.
All right.
And so he can take the dash action as a bonus action. Mark my
So
spell.
fly across the room you will.
Yep.
Oh, I get to do that anyways.
Gotta go fast. Zoom.
Nice.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, wow, you are fast.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Thunder Punch.
I'm sorry?
What?
Oh.
It was the I'm sorry. And he's like, what?
So yeah, I don't think you quite punch yourself, but I think what's going to happen is you're going to punch a column instead. And this is sort of the mechanics of this area. Because you are going to hit a column, go ahead and roll me the damage as you would, because this might affect the battlefield. That is sufficient. So the column that was to sort of your right there, it is actually now going to collapse and weaken the structural integrity of this area. Specifically, there's going to be some rocks that begin falling from the ceiling, but you're not in danger of a cave-in quite yet.
Okay, that was embarrassing. You're gonna ignore that. And that is all.
All right, Callion, I believe it's now your go.
Okay then. This area here, right?
Mhm.
This wall right here. Is
Yes.
this actually a wall? Is this glass? What is it?
That's actually not a wall so much as it is just a raised area. It sort of is an observation area where you can't quite just jump up to it or you can't climb up to it, but it is sort of like an overview area where people could look down onto this sort of open column filled space.
Alrighty then. All right. I am. Let me measure this.
Yeah, you could get there. 40 feet should be able to get you right next to Kapak.
Okay. So I move there, and I will. Let me see. Going to sneak attack this guy.
All right, go for it. Survey says. what you get here.
You said this. You said these would be an advantage because they have multiple enemies around them, right?
Correct.
Okay.
All right, that is going to be a
Hey.
24, which will hit. Yes,
Or 11.
for 11 damage. All right. So as you carve into this guy's back, he lets out a cry of pain and sort of whirls on the spot. But as we go now to the acolyte that Gyanvi was going for, I think they're going to take the disengage action. So they're
Where are
going
you
to get
going?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then he's going to run, so that's 35, 40, 45, 50. I believe he gets all the way up there. And yeah, he just takes off running. The acolyte just takes off running and shouting like, "Alarm! Alarm! Alarm! Alarm!" Because apparently that's what people shout when there's an alarm.
That's it. That's what you have for an alarm is yelling? All right.
Listen, I'm not the best at this, okay? It's my second day.
You're doing okay. Why did I say that? Why was he so nice?
Why are you being so nice? Kill the fool!
He said sorry. I didn't even hit him yet.
Less apologizing, more blood-curdling death.
Welcome back. It's now your turn. You're surrounded on all sides by ally and foe.
This is true. I will burn a key point to use disengage as a bonus action.
Okay.
And then move my 35 feet over in front of this guy.
So unfortunately, even with you disengaging, you can't move through, even diagonally, through that area between the two acolytes because they are blocking you.
Hold on, then.
And also, don't forget that these columns are also solid objects. So the only, and let me show you this on the ruler, the only way you can get out of here is you either have to go around the column, or, yeah, as you figured out, you have to kind of skirt around that way.
Yeah, let's see.
You could still get in front of him. Block his path.
This is true. But
And if it's a bonus action to move, right? You're taking a bonus action to move?
I can use my action to dash.
Actually, I was going to say, why not attack this one? Because he's already been attacked. Or this one. Either one of them.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to get rid of the guy in front of me. I'm going to attack the guy that who fell.
Oh, hey, March with a gift sub to Xandothar. Thank you so very much.
Oh, no. I have 13 hit.
13 will not hit, actually.
Damn.
I thought those were advantage.
Oh, you're right. That one is granting advantage. So with 24, that will be a total of 15 damage. So he's not going to go down when you strike him with your flame tongue sword, but he's definitely going to look like another solid hit would do him in.
Okay. Well then, crap. Crap. Well, I guess I won't be burning my key point for disengaging. I'll be burning it for
Flurry of blows.
So first flurry blow to that guy I hit.
4 will hit, or let's see, that's 4 damage. All right. Anything else?
He's still not down.
Nope. Still has a little bit of health left. That'll be sufficient. Do you want him dead or unconscious?
I'm gonna break his neck with a kick.
Break his neck. All right. He is dead. All right. So as you snap the man's neck, we now go to Kaviri. So Kaviri, what are you gonna do? And you just got a +5 from chat as well. Thank you, March.
Yeah.
She's gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Going to spend 2 sorcerer points to use the meta magic feat quicken spell. So any spell I cast that has 1 action becomes a bonus action.
Meaning you can cast 2 spells, basically.
Yep. I'm going to cast... I'm going to cast Sleep.
Sleep, okay. So if
And
I
I'm gonna-
recall correctly, sleep is you roll a number of dice to get an HP total, and then if the HP total is enough to knock them out, they go to
Yep.
sleep until attacked.
And it's 20 creatures within 20 feet of a point you choose. I'll just put it right here, so only he's affected.
Okay.
I'll
All right.
put it
So
right, yeah.
yeah, I get the area you mean. So it's a
Yep.
very important roll then. Let's see how much HP you put to sleep.
Let me see. It is 5d8. So...
We believe in you. Clap your hands if you believe.
2 ones.
21. Yeah, unfortunately a 21 is not sufficient to knock this guy out. I mean, he'll stumble a little bit and feel a little bit like, oh, why am I so sleepy all of a sudden? But he is still going to be standing. So that's 1 action. What's your other action?
Okay, my other action is going to be Icing Frost's Death. Will be my main spell. I'll put it up for you to see.
Okay.
He must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, he takes 3d8 cold damage, and
he makes it.
Oh, he makes it. God damn it!
This guy is a champion.
He is.
This guy's good.
He will take half damage. Of
Okay.
3d8.
Let's go ahead and roll your 3d8 damage. And what I'm going to say is the 30 feet is going to just end right before it would get to Taz. So Taz, if you were to like look behind you, you would see and feel just a brush of cold air as it washes over.
Now here's the thing: it should have been the other way around. The spell, then sleep.
It should have been. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, lessons learned.
Yep.
All right, so let's see. So
Live
that
your life.
is 13 divided by 2 is a grand total of 6 round down. So he's going to take his 6 damage and he's going to go, oh man, that stings. Why are you shooting ice at me?
Why are you running?
Because I'm sounding an alarm. Wait, you're with them. Alarm! Alarm!
Alarm!
Alarm! Alarm!
So, as that comedy of error progresses, we now go to the Acolyte to Capac South. And I think the Acolyte is going to get real mad. He's like, you killed George, or you knocked George unconscious, and then you kill my best friend. I will end you. And he says that, but he does it in the crackly voice of a tween. So it's like, I will end you kind of a thing. And he's going to still do his best to swing with advantage. Holy crap, he apparently is going to.
He wants to end me.
Oh my god.
That's going to be 15 damage to you, Capac.
Ouch. That certainly is 15 damage.
That is 15 damage. All right, well, Taz, you just saw and heard most of that.
I'm mostly dead.
Okay. You're fine.
Yeah.
You're almost dead. Mostly dead.
He's mostly dead is not all the way dead.
Correct.
There are worse things. There are worse things.
All right, Wolf, what's the play here?
So what had happened was I'm just gonna move over and just get up. I thought I saw a way to get there in 30 feet. Yeah, there it is. All right, I'm just gonna move up next to him.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be like, no.
No, baby.
I'm just gonna try and hit him in the face.
Okay.
See if that works. Big money, no whammies.
Nope. Unfortunately, no.
Why is this the most agile guard on the planet?
I don't think I have any inspiration. I don't think I have any other options. I think I simply just
miss.
Overestimate and miss. So.
Yep. All right, which means Acolyte now to Capac's north. I think they are. I'm trying to think here. Would they go for Capac? I think it would be reasonable for them to go for Capac as well.
I think so. As far as I can tell, I've killed 2 in a number.
Callion did attack him specifically.
This is also true. Tell you what, I'll flip a coin. 1, I will attack Capac. 2, I will attack Callion. Congrats, Callion. You are going to be attacked. And
oh, that's right. We do have a +5.
This is true, but even with the +5, it would have missed. But yeah, so Great Axe here to the face is going to miss completely. All right. Yanvi, what do you got going on, buddy?
I'm just going to tiptoe over here. Just he's like, sneak attack! And he's going to try to punch him in the back of the
Where
head.
did you come from?
If I can do it. And is that an advantage with Capac?
Yeah, it is. Yes, you will have advantage on this one.
Sick, good, because I'm going to need it. Thunder Punch!
22 will be enough.
Slammo!
10
and
thunder.
he yells Thunder Punch when he punches him. And
there's a
as
crack
he does,
of thunder. And again, feature of the area. I need you to now roll me just a standard D20. Just a flat D20 here.
That one.
Yeah, that one would be very bad.
Is that... No, yeah, I was like, that's not what we don't want. Damn it!
Not quite a natural one, but still not a good thing. So what's going to happen is, as you connect with your Thunder Punch, there's sort of a loud crackle and peal of thunder that's going to echo throughout the space. And I'm going to roll a perception check for other guards in the area. And, of course, if they pass, they will be able to hear this. Okay. I will not tell you the result, but I have rolled.
I hate you.
And one of the effects of the thunder punch is that the attackee has disadvantage against every other opponent except for me, as an annoying burst of energy emits from my gauntlet.
Ooh, I love it. I love it.
Really just repeatedly.
Oh god, I'm getting flashbacks to that one mob in Spyro that would just run around with that damn gem that you could never charge into. Oh my
exactly
Lord.
That.
There's some nostalgia for you.
Dragons. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Callion, what do you got going on, buddy?
Okay. He's going to step over here,
Okay.
and he will attack this same one that he attacked before.
All right, let's see what happens.
It's a kapak sandwich.
That is going to be a
my
no,
God.
unfortunately. With a 7, you're going to kind of jab at him with your rapier, and it's just not going to get anywhere. No, not going to find any
Jesus
purchase.
Christ.
Nailed it.
All right.
God damn you, Bahamut!
Well, it is now time for everyone's favorite acolyte to see if he can acrobatics his way over Taz. So, I am going to have him roll an acrobatics here, which is pretty much just going to be his dex, with a 9. So, Taz, what's going to happen is the acolyte's going to try and jump over you, but with your bulk...
I just put my hand on his chest, and as he jumps, I just like push him back down. I'm like, stop.
Sir, I need to get past you. I'm sounding an alarm.
We don't do that here.
We
don't do that here.
I think you keep mispronouncing "sound the alarm" with "die horribly" at my hands. It's okay. It's a common mistake to be made.
I'd like to offer a counter argument.
And I put my one clawed finger up to his lips.
Since I'm next to him, Kaviri reaches out, like grabs the guy's, like just touches his hand, and it's just like, it's okay. You tried.
Oh, Lord.
I hate this acolyte so bad.
So, the acolyte is going to be a little bit, like, weirded out by that, but he's going to reach into his pocket, and he's going to pull out a bottle. It's a brass bottle, and you can kind of see smoke inside of it, like a swirling smoke, and he kind of very slowly reaches for the top of the bottle, removes the stopper, and immediately everything within 60 feet is going to become heavily obscured as the entire area is covered in smog and smoke. So we actually have to, I think it's just going to affect the entire area. I'm not even going to measure it. It's just going to affect everybody here.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
It does, in fact, cover effectively everything.
Yeah, effectively everything. All right, but that's going to be his his action and his movements. So, Kapak, you're now heavily obscured, and you can just barely make out the two people next to you.
It's unfortunate. It provides me disadvantage in my attack.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I gain advantage from flanking. Is that right?
That is correct. So you're technically rolling at straight.
Okay. I don't like the guy that punched me very much.
Okay.
So we're gonna attack him.
Okay.
So Flame Tongue. Wow, nailed it.
That's going to be a no, unfortunately. And
All
since you
right.
are next to a column, I do need you to roll me some
no.
damage.
Oof. Oh, there
Oh,
you
you already
go.
rolled it. So
Yeah.
what's going to happen is your blade is going to miss the acolyte in question, and it's going to hit the column. and that column will as well collapse. Now at this point, what I have to do is I have to roll a d4. If I roll a 4, things start to collapse. So you do not want to see a 4 here. I've rolled a 3, so there are going to be bits of rumbling. There's going to be the signs of a cave-in. There's going to be a lot more rocks falling from the ceiling. So maybe don't hit another column. Maybe don't do that.
You're not my real dad. Can't tell me what to do.
All right, you want to move or?
I will burn my last key point to Flurry of Blows.
Okay.
Unarmed strike on that guy, and then I will Hand of Healing myself as part of the Flurry of Blows.
Okay. So go ahead and handle that.
Min damage, min healing.
Yup. Kaviri, how you doing there, buddy? You're muted.
Not great. Can I see this gentleman in front of me?
Barely. He's still heavily obscured.
I'm just gonna cast Magic Missile.
Okay. Which will hit automatically.
So, 3 darts, all at
1d4
plus 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just go 3d4.
Sound right? 34 plus 3.
Plus 3. Oops. Happiness card plus 3.
All right, for 10 damage. So you fire out 3 bolts of magical energy, and he goes, "Oh man, why? Why? I didn't do anything to you."
Just silence. Just dead silence.
All right, so Gyanvi, if I remember correctly, I can only attack you, otherwise I suffer disadvantage, correct?
But I think also that you have disadvantage no matter what, because we are also obscured.
Yeah, I was
and
going to
I
say,
have my-
so
I have my cloak. There,
it's
do not
super
roll
disadvantage. Just so many sources of disadvantage. I think he's just going to swing wildly, and again, I'm just going to roll a d2. If it's 1, it's Kapak. If it's 2, it's Gyanvi. All right, Gyanvi. There you go.
Do it, bring it!
How do you feel about an 18?
That's ouch!
All right, you're going to take 13 slashing as the Great Axe find purchase in your armor.
Actually, he's a disadvantage.
Oh, 12, correct.
Yeah, never mind. I don't take anything.
Actually, hold on. Wait a second. If I have him attack Reckless, he
Yeah,
would
doesn't it-
grant advantage, which means he is rolling straight. So yes,
Oh.
it will be an
But
18.
he's in disadvantage.
He can't have triple disadvantage. It doesn't work that way.
But
It really is like
hear me out,
cancel
ELH. Counterpoint. What if it did?
What if it did? Oh.
I don't think you can argue with that. I
I mean,
think
you
that's
could.
sound
There is an argument here. I tell you what, Gyanvi will handle it this way. If you roll me a dexterity check and you get more than a 12, I will let it say that it misses you. How does that sound? And that'll be figured with all the disadvantages in play here.
So just straight dex.
Just straight dex here, yeah.
Nope.
Nope. All right, so that will hit you
Yep.
then for 13 slashing.
Ow! Oh! Oh, that's what it's like getting hit.
Yeah, you want to get hit again? Because I could totally go for another round as the Acolyte offers his great axe again.
Time out. Oh.
All right, Taz, what do you got going on, buddy?
So I'm going to attack Reckless, and I'm going to try to just give myself advantage and really mess up this guy's day.
right.
Let's see what happens here. Survey says 25.
25 will... Well, it is... Remember, it is disadvantage, which you cancel out because the smoke is, again, disadvantage. So granting advantage makes it straight, which would make it a 12.
Stop. I don't think that's true at all.
Who has the +5?
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
that's
right. You
right.
do have a +5 from chat. The
He's a
+5 from
+5
chat
from
will
chat.
hit, yes.
All right. Thank you, chat. 21 damage.
21 damage. Oh,
Yeah.
God Lord.
Obliterate this.
So it's like I have my finger on his lip, and then I just gently let it down, double hand the maul, and just.
So you hear him fall to the ground to like one of you and go, and there's like a blood splatter onto the ground. He goes, "Oh God! Oh, I dropped my bottle. Oh God, I don't know where it went. Where did my bottle go?"
I would like to make an intimidation check, and I would like to growl at him. a little bit of flame coming out. The fog slightly dissipates around so he can just make out my like enraged face. Stay down.
I'd like to help by growling as well.
I love it.
Okay. Well, with the assist, it would still be a 15, but
But you were there.
you were
I
there.
was there.
Yeah, so I think the acolyte's gonna go, okay, yes, sir, staying on the ground, don't kill me, please. Okay, thanks. And he just stays there, motionless, on the ground, cowering in fear. But yeah, anything else you want to do on your turn?
All done. All done.
All done.
I'm
All
very
right.
pleased with that.
All right, so I think with this, the acolyte is, I think, going to go for Callion again. So this is going to be at straight because he's going to grant advantage. So that is going to be 9 slashing to Callion. All right, so Gyanvi, we now come to you, buddy. How are you doing?
God. How's he looking? How are you feeling, buddy? Are
I'm
you
feeling great. I feel like I could hit you really hard again.
cool. Hey, what's that over there? Sucker punch.
14 is sufficient to hit him, yes. For 9 thunder, very nice. So I'm assuming the same disadvantage applies here.
Yes, he will have disadvantage and won't have to attack me. But
All right, so as you thunder punch him across the face, he kind of looks back at you and goes, all right, you want to play that way? I don't need
Yeah.
this. He tosses away his great axe and he kind of squares up like he's going to start just punching you.
oh no, you don't want to do this.
Well,
you can't see his face, but he's like, oh god, I've never been in a real fist fight before. This is the first day of my life.
Well, Callion, what do you
Also-
got going on there, buddy?
Sorry. Also, I have a bonus action.
Oh, bonus action. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you are fine. I have a defensive field. As a bonus action, you gain temporary hit points equal to your level in this class. So
Okay.
I get a little bit braver as I get 3 temporary hit points.
Very nice. Very nice.
Hey, that would put me out of one-shot range.
That is true.
Hey man, with a nat 20, we're all at 1-shot range. Let's just be honest.
All right, Callion, what do you got going on, buddy? I think you're muted.
Am I?
Yep, you are. Well, we hear you now.
Okay. I'm gonna attack this guy again.
All right, so disadvantage from the smoke, advantage because you're flanking, so straight roll here.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
21 is more than sufficient for 12 damage. Very nice. Unfortunately, he is still going to be standing, but we'll deal with that in a moment. As we go to the acolyte that everybody loves, as I said, he's going to take his turn to just sit there on the ground motionless and goes, please don't kill me, okay, thanks. Second day, would like to live. And Kapak, it's now your turn.
Second day.
I greatly enjoy that Kapak rolled up into the middle of these people, essentially killed 2 people, and then they were like, "Oh, but hold on, we're being attacked by these other 2," and he's just sort of standing there in the fog, like John Travolta. He's just like,
Very good, Jeff. Very good, Jeff.
so Kapak will switch targets. He'll let the fist fight happen and attack the one that Callion is attacking. For stabby.
15 is more than
15
sufficient.
Demahe.
So, do you want to kill or
Oh, yeah,
unconscious?
Callion will see the fog in front of him glow orange because I've stabbed my sword straight through his chest.
Okay.
Ugh.
That
And then
acolyte
as a-
will go down.
As a bonus action, I'll do a spinning roundhouse kick and attempt to hit the other guy. I don't think
12
a
is
hit that.
not enough, unfortunately.
It was a cool
Alright.
spinning roundhouse kick. No one saw.
That is true.
You just missed. You just only hit air. You just did it. Unnecessary spinning roundhouse kick.
All right,
get back.
Kaviri. What do you got, buddy?
Kaviri turns to Taz. In Draconic. We're killing him, right?
He just gives you a look of like just this like pure unadulterated approval. Like I know we're gonna be best friends. Like Or maybe
All
he
right.
says it. He looks at you. Did we just become best friends? I think we became best friends. And then he just will slowly step back and allow you to do your thing.
A single tear rolls down Giambi's face.
All I ever wanted.
She is going to. Have I already sleep? All right, she's going to use her breath attack.
Okay.
It is. Sorry, give me 1 second.
For you, I think it's what, a line?
It is a 15-foot cone
Okay.
emanating from me.
Which I think, if I measure correctly, yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so that is going to be So they have to make a DC modifier 8 plus my Constitution, so plus my proficiency, so that is 8 plus 3 plus 2, so that's 13.
Mm-hmm. Dex, con.
Constitution.
It's a dex save.
No,
All right.
for mine.
It might matter because certain ones are different.
Mine's
for-
Constitution.
Your save is based on your constitution. The ability score they need to roll is dexterity.
is Dex.
Oh, is
Okay. In that case, that's not going to be a 14. That's going to be a 12. So that will hit him,
Okay.
yes.
So it takes 2d6
Six.
damage.
Mhm.
Roll 2d6.
And that
Max
is going to be
damage.
max damage. Very nice.
Okay.
And although you can't really judge the state of him, you hear the acolyte shiver and goes, "Oh, Lord, it's so cold. I knew I should have worn my cozy jumper today."
And she just goes, "It must be a draft."
All right. Well, now we return to Giambi's friend, where
Yeah, what's
the
up?
acolyte's fists
What's
are
up?
now going to glow with a holy light.
Oh, wait. Wait.
And what that means is I'm going to activate a special ability that these guys have, but I have to hit you in order for it to matter. So let's see. So this is after accounting for disadvantage and advantage. This is going to be a straight roll.
Bring it.
23.
Oh my god.
He
All
brought
right.
it.
He bought it.
So unarmed damage, if I remember correctly, unarmed is 1 plus what?
1 plus
Strength.
strength.
1 plus
1
strength.
plus strength. All right. So this guy has total of +3, so that's 4 damage. So that's going to be 1d4 for the punch itself, and then it's going to be 2d8 for the radiant damage.
Bring it. What you got?
Apparently
What you got?
13 radiant damage as he
Oh.
comes in with a right hook, and he feints where he's going for your face and then actually goes for your chest instead, so it knocks the wind out of you. And then his left hand comes up and does an uppercut, and it's like the standard Street Fighter where it's like KO, and you go straight down to the ground.
I
believe.
had 14 hit points.
You had 14,
because,
so you
because
you-
I had the 3 temporary.
So it's one of those
I
things
have-
where it goes KO. Wait a second, you're not KO'd. What the hell?
You hit like my grandmother.
Your
was a hard
grandmother
household.
beat you?
Yeah, I had a very difficult childhood. That's not the point.
The
Hold up.
acolyte feels like
He
he
op-
should apologize.
He opens up just the visor and spits out a tooth and puts it back down. And if you look at his face, his eye is swollen, he is bleeding profusely, and he puts it back down. I'm not done. I'm not.
Yeah, I'll reach from Southside.
Apparently.
Yeah, what's up? Come on, like this is how we solve it here. Come on. What's up?
All right,
Turn is
over to
shaking.
Taz. Taz, what are you doing, buddy? You're muted.
Don't take this personally. And then I'm going to attempt to just smash his brains in.
All right, go ahead. Straight roll, all things considered.
Glorious. Can I go all out? I'm still
That would give you the straight roll.
That would still give you the straight
I'm
roll.
gonna go
yeah.
all out. Yeah.
27 is more than sufficient.
What?
And that is, I'm assuming you want to cave his head in.
Oh, it's getting scorched. Yeah, it's just, it's not emotional. It's just, don't take this personally. Wham!
I
And then
feel
just-
like it's kind of And he's dead.
I look over at oh my gosh, how do you pronounce it?
Kaviri.
Kaviri.
Mhm.
I think we're going to get along brilliantly. And then I'll take my other action to move back over into this direction.
All right, Gyanvi, you ain't done yet. I believe in you, man.
Boop, snoop, beep, and he activates magic missile.
Hey, there you go. All right, I'm going to tell you now, if you do 10 damage, the guy goes down.
Yeah, 11.
All right, that is more than sufficient. So, as you fire out your magic missiles, the last acolyte falls, and silence falls over the miniature arena here. However, one thing I am going to tell you is that the bottle of smoke is still pouring out. So if this area wasn't already obscured by completely, everything now within 120 feet of the bottle is obscured. But the problem is, you don't know where the bottle is. Nobody knows where the bottle is. But you are out of combat, so I can't tell you that much.
Quebec is going to very quickly stoop to the ground where the unconscious priest is, and just end it.
Just end it. Okay, yeah.
Bring
No
him-
action
bring
required.
him
You just
mercy.
kind of, it's dead.
Bring him Tiamat's mercy.
Ah, there you go.
Did you see that?
Um,
I knocked this guy out.
Kaviri knows that the acolyte in front of her, the dead acolyte in front of her, had the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna get down on hands and knees and try to find the bottle.
Ah, yes. Go ahead and roll me a perception check at disadvantage, because again, heavily obscured.
All right. Perception. Oh boy.
All right, with the 5, you got no idea. That bottle could be anywhere, man.
All right. Callian, what from where he's standing, was he able to see the acolyte pull out the bottle?
No, not from where you're standing.
Okay. But he knows that the smoke came from that direction, right? Like
Correct.
He just kind of billowed out.
Yeah,
All right.
Kaviri calls it out. She's like, "This acolyte had the bottle."
All right. He's just gonna get on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
He's just gonna spread his arms out and just gonna slide towards Kaviri's voice.
That's one way to find a bottle, yeah.
Have you ever seen something dredge? I've never seen the verb dredge in real life, but I think I just have.
I think you just did, yeah.
He's just slugging his way over towards Kaviri.
Is anyone injured?
I
Tiamat's
believe
Mercy, is that you?
it is me. You can see me sort of walking out of the fog at you as I'm spitting acid to close up the axe wound.
Stop that. Come here.
I believe Gyanvi is a bit more battered than I am.
He can take care of himself. You're more important and competent. Come here. I will reach out and I will use my healing ability, which I believe is called Lay on Hands. I will give 10 HP back to Tiamat's Mercy, and then I will hesitantly look over at Gyanvi. You did well. And then I will give him back 5 HP as well.
Don't touch me.
Oh,
Everything hurts.
do you not want it?
Give me that. And it just takes.
And then he plays it, and you'll get back 5 HP as well.
There you go. All right, well, what I'm going to say is that, Callian, you do find the bottle, and I'm just going to tell you guys now that it's an ever-smoking bottle, so feel free to look that up. But what matters is when you grab it and try to stop it back up, the stopper does not stay in it. And you keep trying to force it in and hold it in, and no matter what you do, the stopper is just not staying in the bottle.
Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. Give it. And he's gonna throw it in his bag of holding.
There you go. There you go.
Wrap it
So, narratively, the next time you open your bag of holding, Gyanvi, smoke is just going to pour out of it.
Most
But yes, after about 5-10 minutes of you guys assessing the area, looting the bodies, the smoke finally dissipates and you can see once again.
Okay.
However, that is all the time we have for today's session.
What?
So, we're going to have to end on a semi-cliffhanger mid-heist scene. But it will be something that will be very interesting because remember that roll I did earlier? That's going to come into play.
No, it's not.
Anyways, this is where I'm going to end the recording for YouTube, but Twitch, stick around because we're going to rate somebody. But YouTube, see you later.